Hello there, Mr. Pelargonium here, and welcome back to the channel for this review of the Pelargonium and Geranium Society's national annual show that was held at the prestige RHS Gardens at Wisley in Surrey back on the 22nd of June 2024. So let's get straight into looking at the plants, and first up we have this lovely class 1. This is the 3-pot class, a basic, a dwarf and a miniature. First Love at the back, Morval in the middle and Gyps Meg at the front. Next along is the pair of Regals, and these are mine. There was only one entry. We were a few entries down this year, unfortunately. My pack Strawberries and Cream at the back, Elsie Taylor at the front. The pairs of miniatures, they were looking pretty good this year. Ian Anderson was first, Flaming Katie and Orion. Jim Callow second with a Pippa and an unknown variety, unnamed that is, and Mrs. Joy Stock with a Francis Parrot and another unknown variety, but lovely pairs of miniature zonals there. Moving on to the pairs of dwarf zonals, Peter Pinnell won this. He's an intermediate grower and done very well. Shrivenham Star, one of my own plants, and a Pippa. The winning red card there. Ian Anderson second with Fantasia and a Deacon Lilac Mist. And Jim Callow third with a Sammy Browham and an unknown variety. But looking nice and compact as it was. The pair of miniatures Stellas, these were quite nice. Jim Anderson was the winner with a Lisa Joe and a Rushmore Golden Ruffles. And Jim Callow with a Robin Louise, which actually won the best miniature zonal in the whole show there at back, and a Mrs. May last at the front. The two plants dwarf Stella, Jim Callow won this. There was only one entry, a Mrs. May last, and a Vectis Starbright. Nice pair of plants, always look good, the Stellas. We move through into the angel types, the one plant angel, Tom Kirkland with an April Showers there, absolutely stunning. And a Quantoc Perfection from Jim Callow in second place. Moving on to the Regals, that was mine behind, and Elsie Taylor, that actually got best Regal in the show. Tom Kirkland with a Ross Maroy over the back there. That was in second place. And my Highworth Delight, which we just passed over a moment ago, similar colour to Ross Maroy. Good to see that get a third. The basic zonal, the Singer Flowered Varieties, Annie Grace was the winner at Ian Anderson, and also an Estero Sunset, also grown by Ian. Looking very good. Good to see good basics. The double flowering varieties. Tom Kirkland won the best basic zonal in this show with this lovely Bold Joy. And Ian had a point south in second place there. Again, I don't think you can beat a really good zonal, looking lovely. The Ivy Leaf class, Ian Anderson with a Blooming Gem with the red card there, the first place. He was also had a Sugar Baby in second place, grown in, I would think that's quite a miniature pot, that one. Now moving through, this is a hybrid Ivy Leaf class, but I think this actually, Summer Rose Lilac or Lilac Rose, I think this is actually an ordinary Ivy Leaf that's just been grown up fairly well, but yeah, he got through it, obviously won the class, so no problems with that at all. Now the unique class, this lovely Voodoo grown by John Baldwin. Nice to see John win a class there. He's one of our more intermediate growers, but did very well with that one. The Tricolor leaf varieties, Tom Kirkland won with a Rushmore Cyril Clark, and that got the best Tricolor in the show. Really does look stunning, doesn't it? What the fantastic body of a plant, which is what we're looking for in the Tricolors. Ian Anderson with a Hilda's Memory in second place there at the front. And Jim Callow with a Mrs. Pollock at the back there. Again, all of them looking really superb. You can't beat a very well-grown tricolour plant. The bicolours, Tom Kirkland with a Frank Headley. He really knows how to grow a Frank Headley, does Tom. He got the best bicolour in the show with that one there. You can see the main class card for it. Chelsea Star by Ian Anderson was second. And Jim Callow with an Allesley Shadow was third. Very well grown plants. Lovely, lovely, very, I mean, bicolours again, a well grown bicolour. I think it looks really superb, especially when you have good contrasting blooms. Okay, over to the gold foliage plants, bronze gold foliage. Ian Anderson with a Bembridge, always knows how to grow a Bembridge. Best gold leaf plant in the show. Tom Kirkland second with a Bembridge, and I think the third place was Jim Callow. He got it with another Bembridge. So Bembridge always usually does relatively clear up in the gold leaf classes. Now, the Flora Bunda class, I was the only person to enter this year with two of my Gosbrook Susannas. I think I showed them both to you in the pre-show video, but yeah, they came through, they were fine. A few heads had to be taken away, but the bodies of the plants ended up doing very well. And they were fine, and first and second for me with those. On to the miniature Stellas. Now, Jim Callow had a Damalola, which won there at the back. Ian Anderson second with a Kitbridge. It's a nice plant. And Jim Callow with a Lisa Joe in third place with a yellow card there. Looking really nice. Now, next up is the Dwarf Zonals, and my Shrivenham Star. Again, I may have shown this through, but that actually won the class. Shrivenham Star is nice to see. It's the first time I've ever done fairly well with a Shrivenham Star, so it's good to see. Ian Anderson, another brilliant miniature dwarf grower. Bold Ann in second place. And Jim Callow, so he was through with a Brackenwood there. Okay, so we move on now through to the Angels. Moving on, class 21. But yeah, so Tom Kirkland, this is a Mosquitoea Eva, commercial variety. Absolutely stunning, I think that is. Brilliant plant. Jim Callow, second place, Quantoc Angelique. And Joy Stock with a Quantoc double diamond in the front is the only double flowering variety that we know of at this stage. But yeah, so nice little set of angels there. The single flowered miniature zonals are next. We've got a little bit out of order here. Jim Callow with a ballerina. Single flowering, quite unusual for the doubles. And Ian Anderson with Peace. Never heard of that one. I've got a little bit caught up now. Ian Anderson with a Gyps Meg for the doubles. First place, Ian Anderson with a Gyps Peddler's Lace in second place, and Jim Callow with a Sussex Gem in third. There we are. I've caught up a bit now, sorry. Got caught up there. Too much video and not enough text on my list of winners here. And we move on through now to the actual Stella classes. Basic Stella, this one won the best exhibit in the show. It's a Rushmore Sully Joy, grown by Tom Kirkland. He was also in second place with this Rushmore Tom Kirkland, as it goes. It's named after him. So he's certainly done well with a couple there. And my Robin Louise that I grew, I entered that into the show, got a third. That was not looking too bad. I think that was a really good block of basic Stellas there. Now, the dwarf Stellas was a Damalola. That what the best dwarf zonal in the show, actually, that plant. Jim Callow second with Mrs. May last, and Ian Anderson also with a Mrs. May last in third place. Now here's a trained tomentosum. This is Pelargonium species that can be trained. This was grown by John Baldwin, and that was a really good plant, really very well trained. Now species grown in natural habit. Got an Australis here, again grown by John Baldwin, very well done. Ian Anderson with a Pseudoides in second place, and John Baldwin again with a Pelargonium cuculatum in third. And for your information, that was what we'd used in the original development of the Regal group. cuculatum. Right, so let's move through. We've got Imperial Butterfly there of this scented leaf classes, class 28, Tom Kirkland with Imperial Butterfly, Mick Collinson with a Lara Jester. That's looking pretty regal, isn't it? It isn't a regal, a scented leaf, but looks really good. Mick Collinson also with an Atara Roses over the back there. Very well done to him. Intermediate grows done very well. We'll see another bit of one of his plants a little later on. Now we did have a few entries in the sort of little, the sort of floret classes and little display classes there. So it's nice to see that. Now moving on to the standards, here we go. Rushmore spotted shrimp. You've seen that in my greenhouse giant thing. That, was obviously a pretty decent, that won the class, but my Berry Zest actually won the best angel. I thought that was quite nice. My Butterfly Brian West at the back there, one was in third place. We then had a pair of trained plants and my Petals won that. I'm going to have to rush now. And Frank Headley, grown by Tom Kirkland, was in second place. Okay, so moving through, we've got the hanging pots and hanging baskets, etc. Joy Stock with a lovely Sybil Holmes in first place. Hederinum variegated, not familiar with those. Joy Stock plant again. John Baldwin with a Temprano Bright Red commercial variety. Looking pretty good. Now, hanging pots, excluding ivies. My Rushmore Jan Wilson there that I've grown did very well. Won the best plant and the best hanging pot in the whole show. Yeah, that did very well. John Baldwin grew a Petals in a hanging pot there in front of it. So that was okay. That was a very good plant as well. 8-inch hanging pots. I'm just about catching up again now. Joy Stock, she ran got the best ivy leaf plant with this Jackie. Absolutely stunning, 8-inch hanging pot. Peter Pinnell got a Jane Innes here in second place. And John Baldwin with a hanging pot of Evka in third place. Always grows very well in any kind of hanging pot or basket Evka does. Always looking pretty good. Now we'll move back to the sort of back end of the schedule. This is the display class. Tom Kirkland always does very well with those. You can pause the video to see all of the name varieties that are listed there. So please do that if you wish. Now moving through, we've got the sort of hardy drain. That's an Erodium. That's Erodium Maniscavi I'm looking at, and the geranium there is Geranium Orion. Presumably there is a geranium with that name, as there's obviously a miniature zonal. The actual commercial varieties here, this is commercial zonal. So in first place is Jim Callow with a Calliope Red. Second, Tom Kirkland with a Gisela Dark Red. They do all look pretty much the same, don't they? And Jim Callow was indeed third with a Castello Ronja Red. So all various reds for obvious reasons. Right, so we'll have a look now at the sort of novice and intermediate classes. I don't generally touch on these because I don't want these videos to be monstrously long, but I thought the novice and intermediate classes were supremely attended with excellent quality plants this year, and I thought they really did look, in all intents and purposes, as good as the majority of the open class plants. And indeed, this plant, Lara Starshine there, did get the best scented and best intermediate plant grown by Mick Collison there. So well done to him. But a brilliant array of really quite good plants for what you'd call sort of more novice and intermediate growers. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the Pelargonium Geranium Society's 2024 National Show. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye from me for now.